Did you know a third of the animals and plants will die within the next 50 years? And it'll be because of you. Yeah, pretty crazy, huh? So many plants are going to and animals are going to die because of the environment is changing and the climate change is happening. The temperatures are getting warmer, waters are rising, and the winters are getting harsher. And you guys are doing nothing about it. You don't seem to care. And even our president doesn't even seem to care. We, as the country of the United States, have been the least involved in climate change and global warming. We need to do more about it. In the 2000s, there was a thing called the Kyoto Protocol. It was an agreement between 192 countries that stated we need to reduce the amount of carbon emissions we have. And to do that, we would save the Earth. During the early 2000s, after about 10 years that it was involved, the United States withdrew from it because it was too much of a commitment. Additionally, Bill Clinton said that it was unattainable and it was unachievable, but it saves the environment. The only reason he didn't want to do it was because he was afraid of cutting jobs because of coal and oil industry and stuff like that. Even though we may have lost jobs, we are going to lose the earth if we do not join this protocol. Another agreement that Donald J. Trump left during his first year in office was the Paris Agreement. This was an agreement between 196 countries, which is nearly all of them, where they decided that temperatures would not rise above a certain temperature. Donald Trump removed us from the agreement and removed us from the Clean Air Act and the Clean Power Plan, which set out to make sure that each state was running on electricity that was powered by renewable energy, that we were not emitting too many carbon dioxide into the environment, and we were making sure that temperatures did not rise. But Donald Trump removed us from that because he believed that it was also too much of a commitment, and he was afraid he would lose his financial backers in the coal and oil industry. Honestly, I think this was a very, very unwise decision. Additionally, Donald Trump has made sure that people get tax release if their cars have more carbon emissions than other cars. If you have a truck, like a diesel truck, and it emits so much carbon dioxide into the environment because it's burning diesel, do you care about the environment? Not usually. But Donald Trump is giving you tax exemptions for that, which is awful because that is allowing the carbon dioxide to rise, which would let temperatures rise, which means the oceans are going to rise. Basically, if you could see the future right now, it shows us not having Italy or Florida. Anything coastal would be flooded completely. All of the summers are going to be harsher and warmer, and all the winters will be the worst. And we won't be able to grow anything. Our generations of children will not be able to survive during this. Worst of all, coral that is growing in the ocean is dying because of this. It gets stressed and it dies because of the temperature rise in the ocean. And it's all because of us. And we're doing absolutely nothing about it. We do not care enough about the environment. Honestly, I am very disappointed, but we have to do something. We have to elect some better politicians that are more concerned about the environment. If we don't, we may not be here for the next 50 years. We may go extinct. You know how the asteroid took out the dinosaurs? We might have one like that, but it wouldn't be an asteroid. It would be our own selves that would get rid of the Earth. They say Americans would need 5.8 Earths to live if we lived like Americans. That's insane. I took an environmental studies class last year, and it was the way I learned like so many protocols and treaties to make the environment a better place. And recently we're withdrawing from them because we're scared about jobs. We're scared about losing money. But it doesn't matter about money because if we don't have people here in the next couple of years, what are you going to spend money on, you know? So I beg of you, please go out and vote. Please go change this. Make sure we are able to have much more better quality environmental protection policies. Heck, the EPA was shut down because of Trump. We are losing protection for the environment. And now I will show you my visual aid. All right, this is my visual aid. Did you know many of Americans think the government is not doing enough to prevent climate change? They are most concerned about the reducing the effects of global climate change and protecting the air quality and the protecting water quality, because that's what concerns us now. But our leaders are doing nothing about this. The top 8 countries leading the pact in towards renewable energy are Sweden. By 2040, they will be completely renewable. In Costa Rica, by 2021, they will be carbon neutral, which means you are equally emitting and not emitting at the same time. Nicaragua, by 2020, will be 90% renewable. Scotland, from 2019 to now, has 98% of its energy coming from wind. And Germany, by 2030, a big, large country like the US, that's a large nation, will have 65% of its energy will be renewable. Uruguay, currently almost 100% renewable. Denmark, 100% fossil free by 2050. China is really working hard, and they're 35% of energy renewable by 2030. As you can see, we have a lot of CO2 emissions. Wyoming has the most CO2 emissions per capita, whereas New York has the least, which is insane because New York has so many more cars and stuff, but we're doing nothing about it. As you can see, CO2 emissions per country, China is leading the way, which is awful, but they're doing stuff about it. The United States is third, but as you can see, if you look right here in this area, it says the rest of the world. That means the rest of the world is equal almost to the United States, which is insane. So I beg of you guys, we need to do something on the environment. We need to make a better change and make sure that the environment lasts for many, many generations.